Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luke Ness Monster, and this is episode 3. I totally forgot to introduce you. We're gonna do that again. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luke Ness Monster. Okay, we're gonna try that again. And I'm SideQuester. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luke Ness Monster, and I am joined with SideQuester.
Hello, how's it going, guys?
And this is episode 3 of the Yet to Be Named podcast. If you are new, this is a podcast where we talk about all things Star Wars, specifically Star Wars The Black Series, and today we have a super interesting episode, a little bit astray from our normal top 10 list, but this one is really cool and I'm excited to get to discuss it. But like always, we are joined with SideQuester. SideQuester, tell a little bit about yourself for anybody who might not know.
Hello, I am SideQuester. I have a YouTube channel. I do some toy reviews, other YouTube content. Like I just did my massive openings, and I also wrote a book. It's called Adventures in Unemployment. It's about a guy that kind of loses everything but decides to go on a quest to figure out the meaning of life. It's funny and actiony and has romance. It's pretty much like The Princess Bride, but for millennials and Gen Z. So and Lucas loves it because he loves Princess Bride.
I do love The Princess Bride. It's one of my top 3 favorite movie of all time. Anyway, make sure to go check out the book. It is linked in the description, available both on Amazon as well as the Kindle store. It is linked in the description of all my videos, so make sure to check it out and give it a read. It's a great read.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, so this podcast, we are actually going to be discussing. Recently, I was actually on a Hasbro Roundtable live stream, which was pretty dang cool.
Awesome.
And in this stream, I just kind of wanted to address some of their answers because they gave some. It was an interesting stream, and I really wanted to take a deep dive into some of their responses and analyze what that could mean for the future of the Black Series, because I think we got some good news coming.
Nice. Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, one of the questions I asked Jing actually was about the A-list line. I asked if this was supposed to be replacing the archive line, because I guess I don't know why, but I was so under the impression that the archive line was going to be replaced because of it. Hey, instead of getting a archive Darth Vader, you're now going to be getting the A-list Darth Vader back in the mural packaging. But all the stuff that we had gotten, rumored, was re-releases. It wasn't anything really new. We got a re-release of a Mando that hasn't even come out yet. So I kind of just assumed archive line, it's gone. But Jing actually confirmed that it's not going to be gone. It's basically it's there for new collectors. They want these big name characters or A-list characters.
Oh, okay. No, now I get where they. Okay.
They wanted these big name characters on shelves at all times for new collectors, old collectors, anybody who doesn't have these big name characters like a Darth Vader or a Mando. They just want them to be available at all times, which I think is a great idea. It also kind of what I hope it does is it fills the store shelves, because right now store shelves are kind of empty.
Right.
So yeah, what do you think about that? I know you watched the interview there, so.
I did. Great job, by the way.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. So yeah, it's very interesting. My previous life was in TV, and I did a ton of interviews. So I always fixate on what people say and how they say it. So when she answered that question is really interesting, because what she said was the archive collection will not be. Hang on, how did she phrase it? It was the A-list series will not replace the archive figures as we know it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's an interesting way to phrase it. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a side-by-side where they'll continue the archive wave, where maybe the archive figures will just be repacks of exact versions of characters that we've seen before. Whereas the A-list series, maybe the Mando is a key here, It's for a specific scene, so it's different technically than the version of Mando that's coming out in the main line. He's got the plastic cape and no jetpack. Is that correct?
No jetpack.
Okay, so it's literally that scene where he goes into the waters of Mandalore. So I'm wondering if the A-list line will become scene specific versions of characters that allows them to sort of reuse molds and everything, but whereas the archive version would be just a previous figure, these A-list figures, maybe they will be scene specific and come with more or less accessories to differentiate themselves from the mainline figures or the archive. Like I said, it was really interesting how she phrased it. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's really interesting. I think I never really looked at it like the scene specific kind of route, but honestly, I like that idea too. I know they specifically said like scene specific whenever they revealed it, so I guess it never really rang a bell with me for some reason. But I just have this weird thing for like oddly specific scene specific characters. Like, hey, I want this version of Mando whenever he has like this one itty bitty tiny difference that like a normal person would not even know the difference of. Like, I know, for example, I love the number 94 white box Mando, or just the red box, whatever you want to call it. Number 90.
Say specifically the white box one, because
specifically the white box Mando. It's not on camera, you can't see it. Anyway, I love that that number 94 Mando, but he wears that for the first like 8 minutes of episode 1 of The Mandalorian, and then he gets the silver pauldron, specifically without the Mando Mudhorn emblem on it. And that's like the version of Mando I want, with like one little pauldron that's different. And it's one of those that's very scene specific. It doesn't really mean a whole lot, like, but it's one that I could see them doing in the A-list line, which I would love to see. So,
and I think there's the chance that you'll probably see stuff like that, because this is what it would hit my table. This is what it would allow them to do. That they did this starting in the late 90s, I think it was 96 or 97, mid 90s. It was a year or two into Power of the Force where they started really getting into very specific versions. They had the farm boy Luke, and then they had the version where he had the Skyhopper model. They did the Han Solo. They had a deluxe version with the gunner chair, and he had the gloves on his hands. They started doing like really specific versions of characters, and they sold well. It'll be interesting to me to see if the fan base now will embrace that, where they'll want to complete the set and get every version of Mando. Like you said, you want that the rest of the first couple of episodes.
Yeah, like the episode 1 through 3 version that has the Beskar pauldron.
And I think that because they've redone that Mando, the head to toe mold, and kind of like what they did with the new clone trooper, is it seems like they're setting it up so that they have enough. It makes it easier for them to do those variations.
Just kind of like swapping parts rather than doing whole new molds. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And then those molds become evergreen. How many different versions of Mando could they make, even just from having that Beskar one? They could do Darksaber. They could do him specifically from the duel with Paz Vizsla, and then maybe do like where he's got the injury to his leg.
Yeah.
They can make those tiny modifications, and there's a lot of those versions of figures that I would buy.
Yeah.
So I think they're they're taking a look back at what was successful, and I think they are going to do that kind of thing moving forward.
I think my main concern for the line would just be like a reuse problem. For example, this is the main one that a lot of people complained about was A New Hope Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
We desperately needed a re-release of A New Hope Darth Vader. The last time it came out was 2017. So it's been 7 years now at this point since we've gotten that version of Vader.
Right.
And they did a re-release rather than a new sculpt. Now, obviously, legs you can keep the same because now we'd all love new Vader legs. But like for the most part, you just need a new chest and new elbows are essentially what you need. Mm-hmm. And they didn't do that, which is really, really disappointing to see because that original New Hope Vader mold just really, really sucks. and so it's one of those like, yeah, I'd love Vader on the shelf, especially for some of those newer collectors, but I think a new version of that, A New Hope Vader, would have been much, much better. That way you're captivating the audience of new collectors as well as all of the original Black Series collectors that just need an upgraded Vader.
Oh, but I wonder have we seen pictures of what the A-list Vader is going to look like?
Yeah, it's just a straight re-release. We've seen it.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'll throw it up on the screen for all the watchers here, but
maybe it had a new head sculpt or something, new helmet.
It was sculpt. A straight re-release because it's the same one that's in the archive. Alrighty, so moving on, another question that I personally asked was if Hasbro was kind of going out of their way to do more multi-packs in the line, because we've gotten a lot recently. Specifically, we got like the Battle Droid C-3PO 2-pack that was just pipelined. We got the Clones of the Republic 2-pack, the brand new Ahsoka Clones 2-pack with like the 332nd and the Lieutenant. We just got a Clone and Battle Droid 2-pack pipelined, as well as the Heir to the Empire 4-pack, which was pipelined. So we've got a lot of multi-packs coming in 2024. And so I specifically went out of my way to ask, like, is Hasbro pushing multi-packs again? Because, like, 2016, 2017, they just stopped doing multi-packs. And we hadn't really got any new ones. We got like a few sprinkled here. We got like a carbonized 2-pack here. We got retro 2-pack here. Different. We got like little itty bitty ones here and there, but they've been really, really pushing it this last like end, like fourth quarter of 2023, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And specifically, they said that they're not necessarily like going out of their way to push it, but they said that they've been trying to listen to the fans more, and they've noticed that there's been a lot of desire for multi-packs, and so because of that, they've been trying to push out a lot of multi-packs because of that. So
yeah, I think that like we've talked about it before. I think that there is a huge shift in what's going on at Hasbro, and I think that is a key part of it. Is I believe they're going to increase the perceived value of their items, and I think that's part of it. Having a multi-pack gets you the ability to army build. It gets you like a key character with a combatant. There's lots of play value in that, or display value in having multi-packs. It's also it's hooking your customer into a higher price point. So a lot of times you will get 2-packs where it's like one really popular and desirable character and then maybe one obscure character. We've seen that a lot with the Marvel Legends stuff. As far as the figures go, I think there's a lot of added value in like the especially the Target exclusive clone pack coming out, unless all those get canceled, where you would want to buy multiple packs of that, and you could build your own army, or maybe you only want the 332nds. You want a bunch of those. Trade them, sell them, and I think that the fan base will gravitate towards these multi-packs because we've been craving specific characters for so long, specific versions for so long. So it gives Hasbro the opportunity to kind of put a lot of that stuff out there. And maybe there's a loophole that allows them to do these outside of the normal waves, because I know that there are criteria for what they have to put in each standard wave. So maybe this is a way for them to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, so I'm honestly just really excited about the potential of more multi-packs and deluxe packs, more stuff like that. Like I know they kind of went into doing like deluxe figures as just big bulky figures, but for a while there they were doing deluxe packs as like a Cal Kestis with extra accessories, and that's something I also hope they revisit too. But just like multi-packs, vehicle packs, deluxe packs like that are something that I really remember growing up with and walking down the Star Wars aisle, which was an entire aisle back in the day, and actually seeing all this different stuff with a bunch of different options. And it's something I really miss, and it's really, really sad to see that not be on store shelves anymore. So I'm glad that they're revisiting it. I know a lot of those multi-packs they're probably not going to hit store shelves. A lot of them are probably going to be exclusives, or they're going to be online retailer like a Hasbro Pulse or a fan channel exclusive. But either way, it's just something I'm glad they're revisiting, and it's something I hope they continue to do.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Hasbro contacts you and says, we want you to come up with a 2-pack that will be available somewhere down the line. Your choice, whatever you want goes. What goes in that 2-pack?
I would do a that is tough. I might be a little biased here, but I think I'm going to do a Phase 2 5s with the actual Phase 2 helmet and the rangefinder, and a hard case figure would be the two.
I would love a final Tatooine duel, Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
That's cool.
That'd be so neat. Maybe with a little campfire.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, both of those, like, they could just reuse the Kenobi mold we have, and then the Battlefront 2 body is a good base. Just throw, like, an extra molded, like, scarf piece and hood or something on, and you got both the characters right there. This is one that... It's a 3-pack, not a 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one that means so much to me, and it's because one I always really, really wanted when I was a kid, and I never got, and now it's like $350 on the aftermarket. But it's from that original Clone Wars line. But they did battle packs, where they would do like 2 or 3 clones, or you'd have like a clone and a droid, or different stuff like that. They were called battle packs, though, because they came with multiple figures.
Right.
And this one it's called the Defend Camino Battle Pack. And it had Phase 1 5s, Phase 1 Echo, and ARC Trooper Blitz, which was the yellow ARC Trooper from that. One of the coolest sets they've ever made. And I really, really want it. It would be cool. I would probably buy 2, one to leave in the package just because of how iconic it is. But that would be incredible. And
okay, a hot take for you. What if they did exactly what you were saying, in 6-inch scale, but in like replica packaging from the original battle pack?
That's what they need to do. That's what I was really hoping they would do when they did like the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm a few years ago. I was hoping they'd visit some of those battle packs, but yeah, that's what they need to do. Hasbro, if you're watching this, I am on my knees begging, please. But yeah, that would be crazy cool, and I know it would sell like hotcakes too. I mean, both the Phase 1 mold is incredible. You already have the ARC Trooper mold, which is incredible. It's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, and even if they just did like a regular version of the 3-pack, but then did kind of like their SDCC or other convention exclusive, where they take those existing characters and then do the replica packaging That'd be so neat, man. You're onto something. I like that.
Anyway, next up, this one was not one that I personally asked, but one of the other people in the interview asked about vehicles, and specifically they asked about like Sabine and like her speeder or like her wolf or something that she rode, something like very specific to Ahsoka. But I know the designers kind of took it and like went just general vehicles, and again, this is kind of like the 2-packs, but they said that like that's something they want to do and they want to visit, but they want to make sure that they're gonna do the right things if they're gonna do it, and so they really basically just said like give them ideas on what to do. And so I'm in most of my videos I'm gonna be pushing like leave your ideas, tell me what you want, because I think that Hasbro is going to be paying a lot of attention, and if we are vocal enough we can get vehicles made. So
yeah, no, I that was also a very interesting question, or sorry, rather an interesting answer. How they answered that question is different than what I remember from the previous fan stream that you did, what I remember from previous events that they've done. The verbiage that they normally use is, we try really hard to get the fans the items that they want and that kind of a thing. What I heard multiple times during your fan stream was them saying, tell us what you want.
Yeah.
So that we can make it. Your March Madness list, your surveys, the stuff that like Yak Face and different people do on Instagram, getting them the information of what you want, I think is key. And it was so interesting to me that they asked directly, tell us what you want us to make, and we will do it. With a vehicle specifically, I think that it's another thing that could be really good. It allows a higher price point initially for people that want a figure. They want an episode 2 Anakin on a swoop. They want an Ahsoka on a speeder. They want Luke and Leia on new speeder bikes, that type of thing. It allows for that price point. But if you come up with a brand new sculpt for episode 2 Anakin, then you can use that for episode 2 Anakin in the main line, or transition that into an episode 3. It would allow for them to come out with an item, $50, character and a vehicle, and then reuse those figures in the main line and just have it ready to go, and then swap out little things and make the A-list and make all the different versions of it. I would hope that we get something like that going. Beasts, brand new Tauntaun.
I think speeders, like smaller vehicles like speeders and like smaller to mid-sized animals are like the way that Hasbro is going to go with this if they do decide to, because I think it's going to make these sets affordable. And again, that's the big problem with Black Series, is that it's a larger scale, so you can't do really big vehicles. So I think you're going to see like speeders, like you're going to see a Mando on a speeder would be one that I'd love to see. I know he has it in a little bit of season 1, some of season 2. Another one is Mando on the Blurg. That one is one I'd love to see. I'd love the Blurg. Blurg would be super cool. But I specifically, I just said it like 4 times, but speeders are perfect because you can charge $25 a figure, $25 for a speeder, $50 set. Give me like a Neo on a speeder, $50. That set would sell out instantly. Or like I know, like you said, a Luke and Leia on a speeder, $75. Or heck, do like a snow trooper on a speeder and call it like a Hoth speeder, do like a white speeder, do a Hoth speeder. Like there's so much you can do.
I like that so much.
I know there's so much just random stuff you can do that would be super dang cool. If you wanted to, you could do the Power Ranger speeders from Book of Boba Fett. Those would sell like crap, but you could do it. Don't do that, Hasbro. Knowing Hasbro, that'll be the first ones they do. It won't sell, and then they'll be like, well, nobody wants vehicles. They like went really hard with Book of Boba Fett in the last year.
But no Boba Fett.
But no Boba Fett.
On Rancor.
Give me the Rancor as a vehicle, not a HasLab. You see, now that's something we could discuss too if they just did like pay to order stuff rather than HasLab stuff, kind of like they did with the TBC Boba's Palace.
I think that would be interesting. It would be a cool model. There's a few companies that do stuff like that. Mezco with their 112 collective. They don't do that all the time, but instead of either doing a limited run or doing pre-orders and then hoping for the best, they will do made to order. Super 7 does that sometimes, where it's like you have 2 weeks to put your orders in, or a month or whatever. After that month, it's closed. We make that many, and that's it. Maybe that would be a more interesting model than trying to do a HasLab where you're jockeying for enough people to back it, and then it becomes a popularity contest of like trying to entice people enough. With the Rancor, it was too little, too late. What were we going to say?
So I think that's if they were to ever revisit like the Rancor or failed HasLabs, that's exactly how they would do it. No bonus tiers, just the base offering, $350, buy to order. Hey, 500 people bought it. That's how many we're making, and that's it. And I think that's how they would do it. I think they would sell a whole heck of a lot more than, was it 6,000 for the Rancor that they needed to get backed? They would sell 10,000 right away, guarantee it. Jumping into the last thing I do want to talk about today, this was another one that I didn't personally ask, but it was one of the other influencers on the interview specifically asked about accessory packs, whether they were like replacement accessories or just bonus deluxe accessories. And Hasbro gave the exact same answer as they did for multi-packs and for vehicles. Basically, if you guys want it, let us know and tell us what you want, which is awesome. It sounds like they're being really open to it, and I think that's something that, again, we need to be vocal about, because if we want it made, they got to know we want it.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, the person that asked the question during the fan stream made a lighthearted comment about vacuuming up some of the accessories, but I mean that happens. I can't tell you the number of lightsabers from early on where they had the really thin blades and the really thin pegs that are broken. Now, luckily, I tend to buy one or two extra sometimes. That was a joke. To make sure that I have extra accessories if something does go awry, something goes flying off of a shelf. But a lot of people don't do that, or the figures are so far out of print that there's no way to be able to get it unless you buy the next version, and then the next version, well, you need the accessory for that. So I think this would be really smart. I think that having character-specific lightsaber packs, along with maybe some repainted ones, just to have for random Jedi, would be great. It reminds me very much of the Phantom Menace, a little bit before your time, but when the product came out for that, they came out with the first wave of figures, and then they came out with a wave of accessory packs. And the base, the very first Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul were just them from the final duel, but they had these accessory packs, and they were each designed for those characters. So they had one that was like, I think it was called like the Sith pack. It wasn't specific to Darth Maul. Yeah. But it came with a cloth tunic, a cloth robe that you could put over him. Came with an extra lightsaber. I think it came with an unignited lightsaber. It came with the little probe droid. A couple other things. I think is Binox.
That reminds me of a vehicle. Give me Darth Maul on the speeder. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, that is the perfect interruption. The Obi-Wan set, same thing, came with a robe for him. Some of the stuff that he used throughout the movie, maybe some kind of spring-loaded actiony things, like those aren't the trend anymore. But I think extra blasters, and with that, they already have designed blast effects for Star Wars. They could throw those in too, and blasters, blast effects, lightsabers, extra hilts, maybe the occasional cloth robe for a different version of a character. Like I mean, imagine I took one of my my Endor Rebel soldiers, and I put Han Solo's trench coat on him to make like a different version. They could just throw that trench coat maybe in a slightly different color to make it stand out from Han, but they already have that designed, or a combat poncho, or even if they were going that route. This is one of the things that Matty Collector used to do with the Masters of the Universe Classics line, was they would do accessory packs, or they would have figures coming out down the line that came with accessories or interchangeable heads specifically for previous characters. So like they have this Endor Rebel soldier here. Maybe they come out with an Endor accessory pack with a bunch of different guns, and it's got 2 or 3 new faceplates that you can plug in to the figure that you already have.
Yeah, do like both Endor and Hoth. Do like 5 or 6 faces, backpacks, cloaks, weapons. There's so much you could do with that. I don't know, $15-$20 for an accessory pack, and that's awesome.
I'd buy those. I'd buy those all day.
I know. I mean, it's crazy, like the different stuff you could do. I know specifically for me, I have a big problem with my lightsabers snapping, like right in the blade, and the peg is like stuck in the hilt too, so you can't even get like a different blade to plug into it to fix it. Like it's just broken. This happened with my second sister. Happened with my Clone Wars Anakin. And then I know specifically my Kanan from Rebels, his lightsaber comes apart in the middle, so you could like put it on his belt in 2 different spots. And I lost one of those pieces. So I have the blade and I have like the pommel, but the rest of the hilt's just gone. I think it got vacuumed up.
That's the worst.
So it's like little stuff like that. Like, give me accessories. Do like a Jedi accessory pack. Come with like a cloak robe. Some like maybe like a communicator, or like one of the hollow things. 5 or 6 different lightsabers with different colored blades, blue, green, purple, and there you go. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. Swooshing blades.
Yeah, I think specifically something you said was blast effects, and that is something that I'm surprised Hasbro's not done more of. It's some of my favorite stuff in the line. Give me like little blue, red little blast effects to put on the end of my guns. That is super cool. And coming from like a adult collecting standpoint, I love displaying my figures. I want them to be in cool action poses, and that's why I love blast effects. We very rarely get them. When we do get them, I buy them as soon as I can, kind of like the Cad Bane duel set, kind of like the old GameStop Stormtrooper. Like super cool stuff, and I wish they would do more of that. That would be great accessory packs, and something they need to do.
Do you know what I want? I want a starting to explode thermal detonator.
That would be cool.
Just like give me the little like put it down in front of your display. Your troopers are flying back. Oh, that'd be so neat. Oh,
I think the Mando whistling birds would be cool.
Yeah.
Different stuff like that. Just like little, doesn't have to be much, but little accessory stuff like that is insane, and I wish they would do some more stuff like that. Another one would be a Django one with like you get the alternate head with the headset, you can get the poncho, You know, I know he has 2 different jetpacks. Maybe include the alternate jetpack and some blast effects. And I know specifically blast effects would be great. Like, give me like a Mandalorian one with blast effects or something. I don't know. There's just so much different possibilities. I know, especially when you look into like Cal Kestis. Give us cloth ponchos you can swap out with different hilts and different blade colors specifically. Because I know we've gotten the double bladed one that was in the green, and we got the standard one that was in blue. But I want to be able to like swap those, you know? That makes sense? Give me all different blade colors. Blue, purple, pink, yellow, orange, all of it.
Sure.
Give me all of it. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this discussion. If you guys enjoyed, the like button and subscribe. And, of course, let us know down in the comments what you thought about these interesting Hasbro takes, because I think we've got a big year coming, 2024. So hit the like button, subscribe, and, of course, continue watching the Yet-to-Be-Named podcast. I'm Lukeness Monster, joined with...
I'm SideQuester. Thank you so much. We will see you sometime.
In the next one. Alrighty. See you guys.